Hello. Stop. Stop what you are doing right now. Do what a lot of my friends' parents couldn't and stick around. Please. I got some things to say. My name is Caleb James. This is the Caleb James channel. If you haven't yet, smash that subscribe button, tickle the notification bell, and let me know that you love me. Let's keep growing and growing and growing. Anyways, today, like I said, we're breaking down UFC 296 going down in December. Huge, most stacked card of the year, and we're breaking down one fight each week. And today, we're breaking down possibly the most interesting, most compelling, most exciting fight on the card, okay? Tony El Cucuy Ferguson versus Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. You guys want to see my Paddy the Baddy impression? I'm a Scouser. We don't get knocked out. We crack on to it. Yeah, that's Paddy the Baddy. Anyways, Tony Ferguson. Let's start there. 6-fight losing streak. He was 1 point the most feared man in the lightweight division. El Cucuy, which in Spanish means the boogeyman. Right now, he's not very feared. He's sort of a gatekeeper. He came out on his losing streak fighting aces. His last win being over Donald Cerrone, the one before that for the interim belt versus Kevin Lee. And then he had a terrible skid. Not the skid like I have in my underwear right now. I mean the skid of losing. First, he lost to Gaethje. Took the ass whooping of a lifetime. Charles Oliveira took the ass whooping of a lifetime. Beneil Dariush, ass whooping of a lifetime. That's 4. That's 3. Michael Chandler, he showed sparks of brilliance in that fight. We thought he was back. He dropped Chandler in the first round with the left hook, and we thought, oh my gosh, El Cucuy is back. No, he got sent to the fucking shadow realm with the front kick to the face. The highlight knockout of the year was him going down like a sack of potatoes. Then he lost to Nate Diaz at 170. Let me say it again. Nate Diaz. He lost to Nate Diaz. The most feared man in the lightweight division lost to Nate Diaz. And then they tried to give him a gimme fight, a winnable fight against Bobby Green, and he lost that one. He's definitely lost a step. He's not the same El Cucuy that he used to be. He doesn't have a style that gets better with age, like me. He doesn't have that, okay? His style in fighting is volume punching, pressing forward, throwing all sorts of bizarre elbows, punches. He's very unorthodox in that way, but a lot of times, like in boxing, unorthodox styles that rely on reaction time kind of dole out as you get older. So Tony Ferguson is on a 6-fight losing streak, and now he's going up against the Liverpool sensation, Paddy the Baddy. Paddy the Baddy. Paddy Pimblett. He's going up against Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett burst onto the UFC scene with 4 wins, 3 of which were finishes and were very, very, very exciting fights. He locked out me last night now. Luigi. Okay? He got cracked in the first round, but he's a Scouser. Like he said, I crack on to it. He got knocked out, or he got clipped in the first round, then he knocked out Luigi in the second round. Then, what's the name of that motherfucker? Let me check real quick. I don't know. He was fighting a bunch of no-namers. Oh, Rodrigo Vargas. Again, cracked in the first round, but recovered, got a submission win. Then, Jordan Levitt, the Battle of the Weirdos, got a submission win. 3 finishes. So much hype behind this kid, and then he fights someone in the top 15, Jared Gordon, gets his ass whooped, and somehow still gets the decision. We know who UFC wants to make their cash cow, Paddy the Baddy, but does he have the skill to break into the top 10, to even contend for a title one day? We don't know yet. He's still growing. He's still very much growing. He's in his prime right now, but is his prime enough? Probably fucking not, honestly. It looked really bad in his last fight. But hey, everyone has off nights. So, battle of people coming off horrible fights. Tony Ferguson got his ass kicked by Bobby Green. Did drop him in that fight, but got his ass kicked. Paddy the Pimblett. Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Got knocked around, essentially, by Jared Gordon, but still gifted a split decision somehow, some way. So it's the battle of the losers. The battle of the losers. But, I don't know which way I am leading in this fight. I'll be predicting it for you by the end of this video, but let's break down Tony a little more. 6-fight losing streak on a terrible skid. But he has shown moments of promise. In the Bobby Green fight, he dropped Bobby Green. In the Michael Chandler fight, he dropped Chandler. He's still got a chin on him. He still can take punches. And Paddy the Baddy doesn't have a ton of knockouts. He's more of a submission specialist. But he has the ability to knock people out. We saw that in his Luigi fight. The thing is, the thing that's the biggest critical factor, not fear factor, critical factor going into this fight is who's going to really show up. Well, you know what you're going to get from Paddy. He can take punches. He can move forward. He's a submission specialist. And we have seen a decline in Tony Ferguson's jiu-jitsu. He was submitted by Nate Diaz. He was submitted by Bobby Green. At one point, he was one of the most feared jiu-jitsu specialists, that Twitch jiu-jitsu. But it does seem to have declined with his age, as he has been much more vulnerable to being submitted. That's kind of scary going up against Paddy the Baddy, who is a submission specialist. Paddy the Baddy has been cracked. Okay, he's been hit, and it's not impossible for anyone to get knocked out, even if you're a scouser. Which way do you lean in this fight? What does the UFC want? The UFC wants Paddy the Baddy to finish Tony Ferguson for good. If Tony loses this fight, he's probably going to hang up the gloves. What do UFC fans want? I'll tell you what we fucking want. We want El Cucuy to make a comeback. We want El Cucuy, Tony Ferguson, to mop the floor with Paddy Pimblett's head. That's what we want. How does Tony Ferguson get it done? He has to select his shots. Be more of a shot selector. His footwork is really unorthodox and has led him to get outboxed a lot. But he does have effective striking. It's still effective. And against someone as hittable as Paddy the Baddy, I think he can find a home for those punches and elbows. I really do. This is the most winnable fight that Tony Ferguson's been gifted in his last 7 fights. He came out fighting straight aces. Okay, Paddy the Baddy, since he's been in the UFC, hasn't fought any big names. Jared Gordon now is kind of sturging, but he still hasn't even really broken into the top 10. Unlike UFC debuts like Michael Chandler, who was just thrown into the Wolves' Den immediately, got a number 5, number 6 ranked fight, and swam. They're really trying to build Paddy up. They're really cushioning his uprise so he can keep being entertaining. He's great behind the mic, and he's got a lot of energy. He dances. Will it be enough to topple El Cucuy, get a big name, win under him? No. Tony Ferguson is going to get the victory by a unanimous decision. That is my prediction. I think Tony will come out with his unorthodox striking, but it will be effective against someone as hittable as Paddy Pimblett. I do think it'll be a barn burner. As long as Tony can stay out of submission threats, keep the fight standing, which he has a good defensive wrestling background. I don't see him shooting for takedowns against Paddy the Baddy. I can see him battering him up on the feet. I think Tony will get enough to get the decision, even a split decision, but I think we get Tony El Cucuy Ferguson back in the win column. That's what the UFC fans want to see, and that's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to get. So, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate you. If you made it this far in the video and gave me a view, God bless you. Just keep hitting that subscribe button, telling your friends to come here so we can talk MMA and talk about a little bit of violence. Whatever you're going through in your life right now, you will get through it. You will get through it. The night is always darkest just before the dawn, and the teacher is always quiet during the test. Just remember that no matter what you're going through, God's there for you. Your family hopefully is there for you. And guess what? I'm here for you. I love you very much. Thank you for watching.